There's been a lot of backlash towards James Gunn's decision in the Superman movie to change the message of Kal-El's Kryptonian parents. They told him that, hey, you know what? Rule without mercy. Anybody who is unwilling or unable to serve you, dispatch of them. If they don't agree with your message, if they're not willing to follow you, then kill them. Wipe them off the board. Be like a communist ruler, not somebody who can agree to disagree, and then take as many wives as you can. Like, have sex with all these women so you can spread your seed. Do you think that contradicts the message of the movie in any way, where Superman is trying to be this good guy? He's trying to save people, do the right thing. I think, in my opinion, that it does contradict the message, because on one end, his origin parents, where he was born from, is telling him that do whatever you want, because you're Superman, you have all these powers, and these people are beneath you. On the other end, Superman's like, I gotta make sure I take care of these people. And then if you go watch the movie, in the Fortress of Solitude, at the beginning of the film, they showed the message from his Kryptonian parents. And then at the end of the movie, they showed his Kansas parents. And I understand you want to lean towards his human side, but that's not his original parents. It's almost like they're trying to get rid of them. Now, of course, we have to see what's going to happen in the sequel, but they made jokes about it in the movie, and that's what James Gunn is known for, where they did build some really cool scenes and it was emotional, but then they threw in a joke to take away from the seriousness of that scene. And it's like, okay, I get you're trying to cater to a brand new Superman, show him be human, show him that he understands our weaknesses. Cool. But at the end of the day, if you're going to completely disintegrate his Kryptonian parents because they sent out a bad message, that's not cool. Now, people will argue that, well, they may change it in this second movie, and they really might decide to do away with that message. I'm not debating that. However, this is the origin movie. This is kicking off the DC universe, and in my personal opinion, maybe save that for another movie where you're trying to deceive people out there who trust in Superman, the citizens on Earth. I think that would have been a better idea. I thought that's where they were heading, but they never did. And Mr. Terrific even confirmed that it's an actual recording that's telling the truth. So we can cope, we can say all these things. However, at the end of the day, James Gunn did confirm that I am trying to change things up. So let's see what Mr. Gunn had to say about this situation.
I'm a huge Superman fan. So first of all, I had to trust myself that I was going to honor the pieces of Superman that we needed to keep the same, and also allow myself to make changes where changes might work and wouldn't go against the integrity of who the character is. And so I think that was.
So you're focused on his integrity as a person, but his parents have questionable morals. And again, I don't think that was the best decision, in my opinion, especially when you're starting from scratch. Now, if you did this like in a third movie, or you've already established the character, you've built out some good movies and good storylines, cool. I'm fine with that. You saw that in Smallville, where, the parent of Clark Kent from his alien parents, he was hard to deal with, and it was very questionable, but it was actually an AI recording of him. And then as they built that out, they explained that no, he didn't mean it that way. So I think it could have been handled better, in my personal opinion.
Simply dealing with some of those things was simply dealing with allowing ourselves to change part of the story in a way that was interesting for the DCU, but that wasn't something that went against who Superman was. And it has been something that's been played with in the comics before.
But wouldn't the message of having sex with multiple women and ruling without mercy contradict the message you're trying to portray in this Superman film? Don't you think that is inconsistent? Look, I'm not against changing things up, because we've seen this in the past or previous movies where we saw Spider-Man not be a street level Peter Parker with Tom Holland's version. And that's why people are so excited about Spider-Man 4. So I just don't know why you decided to make this change with the origin movie. That's just my biggest thing. I understand that Superman's a good guy, and that's what they're trying to portray. And I saw this today. It's kind of funny, where the Jor-El, as you see, help the people on Earth, my son. Do not let them make the same mistake as us. Rape them hoes. You see, the message is so different. And if you go watch the scenes at the Fortress of Solitude, we see his Kryptonian parents. He needs some inspiration. And then at the end of the movie, it's showing his Kansas parents. Now, maybe that will be different in the next movie where he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and they show his Kryptonian parents. But if they completely remove them, I doubt they will. I'd be surprised. I think they're going to retcon this. I really do, because it's definitely caught a lot of backlash. People aren't too happy with it. Of course, there are those who are going to cope and say, oh, it's part of the comics. They're going to build on this. Okay, fine. But like I've already said before, the movie felt like a complete mess. And I just wanted to make a good Superman movie. Superman felt very weak, in my opinion. He was getting beat up a lot. And I'm not against a human Superman, but at least show him be super and not constantly go through a struggle. Again, I'm okay with you dealing with adversity, but you got to overcome it. It didn't feel like he had enough of that moment, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this controversial decision by James Gunn. And if you liked my video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.